Alright, so today I'm going to be smoking some redfish and roasting some potatoes and making some gravy on rice. I'm going to go ahead and cut the potatoes. Or actually I'm going to wash them first. And the video might be a little shaky. I'm trying to get a stable, better phone mount, but so now that those are kind of washed, they don't need to be too clean. It's just enough to get the dirt off. Go ahead and grab a bowl, and then first you gotta cut your potatoes. I'm just going to cut, some of the smaller ones are only going to be in halves and the bigger ones are only going to be in quarters, but just cut them to whatever size you like them. This will be my first video, so if it's a little choppy and unorganized, I'm sorry. And how I got the recipe for the redfish. So I caught the redfish with one of our friends, and he actually has his own channel, and it's called Louisiana Adventures. And I'll put that in the comments at the end of the video. He told me that smoking it is one of the best ways. So I'm going to smoke it with some blackened seasoning. Got that right here. And I'm going to put some lemon juice on it before I season it. And put some oranges on it as it's smoking. And then for the gravy on rice, it's basically just going to be a cubillion, but with no meat in it. So this will actually be similar to one of his recipes. Or it's not really going to be a cubillion. It's really just going to be like the base for one, but it's going to be very similar to Louisiana Adventures recipe. And we season the potatoes. We just use this Lipton Recipe Secret Golden Onion. It makes them pretty good. That one looks a little rotten. I caught the redfish with Louisiana Adventures. I might have already said that, but he took me and my dad fishing, and it's actually my first redfish I've caught. Also, he helped me catch my first black drum too. Caught one. He was almost a keeper, but he was only 15 and a half. They have to be 16 in Louisiana to keep. I started the charcoal right now, but we don't have any. We're grabbing some on the way home from work. That's probably all the potatoes I'm going to cut. Then we're going to grab some olive oil. I'm just going to drizzle it on the potatoes. And then I'm going to grab paper towels because I'm about to get my hands oily and full of that olive oil we just put on there. And then after we get this olive oil on there, all over most of them, then we're going to put the seasonings on them. I'm probably going to add a little bit of the blackened seasoning because I think it would give it a better taste. And it would go with the fish more. But I'm just going to put one of these on there. Yeah, that's make plenty. And keep dropping stuff everywhere. I should have gotten a bigger bowl. Rinse my hands off. Just add the taste. I might add a good bit. One thing I did find with that specific brand of blackened seasoning is I found that it had a very strong black pepper taste. My dad found that it had a very spicy taste. So it might be something you want to keep in mind if you decide to get that brand. The only reason I got that specific one is because it had less sodium in it. But whichever brand you like better, you use it. Okay, and while I wait on the charcoal, I'm going to get the oven preheated to probably 375 or 350. I'm going to go 375. And while I wait on that, I'm going to get my roux going. Let's get some vegetable oil. And get it on probably about medium heat. And probably about half cup to a cup of oil for this pot. And let that get the temperature. And I will be back when it is time to put the potatoes in the oven. Alright, and our oil is looking hot enough to start our roux. So I'm just going to be going over it. This is what I'm going to be using for the vegetables in it. Only because it's quick and it was kind of unplanned. But I'm going to add the flour slowly, probably about a little less than a third cup at a time. You want to be careful because the oil is very hot. And it's actually my first time making a roux, so we'll see how it comes out. And our oven is preheated for our potatoes, but we're going to man the roux for a little bit. And kind of just add flour. Not really measuring. Just kind of until it's thick enough. And I have a metal roux spoon, but it'd be kind of harsh on some people's ears, scraping against the cast iron. So I'm using a wooden one. Go ahead and put the potatoes in. I put them on a pan with on top of wire rack, so that any of the juices are not going to make them soggy. I'm probably going to put them in there for about 10 minutes and then check them. I don't know how this works. Okay, so at 4:36, it'll be time to check them. They're starting to get a little dark. Add a little more flour, get it a little more thick. Add a little bit more flour. Should be enough. We'll get our vegetables right here nice and ready to dump in when we're ready to our tomato sauce too. But you want to make sure you always constantly stir it. And I know that much so it doesn't burn or stick. It's just a mess to clean up if it sticks. Get a can opener. I'm trying to do it fast so the roux it doesn't have any time to cook too much. Alright. Stir it. It got a little burnt right there, but it should be okay. It kind of starts smelling like burnt popcorn a little bit. In the future, I think probably maybe this week I'll get a fishing video out, but if not, then we'll definitely have one because we're going to Texas in August. If not before then, we'll definitely have one by then. Probably some saltwater fishing. We're gonna add our gidgeries. I'm not sure how much, but we're just gonna add a little bit. Looks like enough. A little piece of whatever out of there. And as you cook the veggies, they're gonna release a little bit of water. Might have been a little too many veggies, but it'll be okay. So now we're gonna turn our heat down a little bit. Probably a little bit lower. Probably about, so my stove it says 2. But I guess y'all can figure out the equivalent on y'all. I don't know how you do that. This is an electric stove. We're going to open our tomato sauce and go ahead and dump it. Getting a little thick, so we're gonna get some water. All right. I accidentally turned my flash on there trying to check the time. Got about 3 more minutes for the potatoes. We'll check them. Add a little bit more water to the cubillion. It's looking real good. There's not much seasoning in there, so we're going to grab some of this blackened seasoning. And we're just going to sprinkle a little bit in there. I don't know about y'all, but that looks like it'd be good over some rice. A little bit more water. With that water, probably add a little bit more seasoning. And I'm not going to constantly repeat this throughout the video, but if you see this and you like it, and you want to keep seeing stuff like this, please, maybe, just consider hitting the subscribe button. I'm going to start bait making. I have all the stuff for it. I just need the only thing that has to come in is the flake. I'll be back in a little bit. Alright, so I paused the video. My mom got home, and it's always a little chaotic when she gets home because the dogs are happy to see her. She's had a long day at work, so. The cubillion is inside simmering, and This phone mount's not that good. It's like 25 bucks. The cubillon is inside simmering. The potatoes, we're not quite done, so I'm going to leave them in there for another 5 minutes, so about 4:42. Alright, now we're going to start our coal so that they can get down to some embers, I guess, to smoke the fish instead of direct heat. They don't need a lot, I don't think. Move all of them to one side. And get some lighter fluid on them. Don't want to squirt on my feet and get all over my feet. Before we light it, we're going to get the grill on because you can't really put the grill on after you light it, or you burn your hands. We're going to get one of the paper towels we use to wipe our hands while we're seasoning the potatoes. Create as little waste as possible. And we're going to light it and just drop it in there. Maybe put a little bit of lighter fluid. A little bit of help. Oh, frick. Well, do not do what I do. Promise. I'm a trained professional. We're gonna let that get down to a little bit of some coals. Leave a little bit cracked so smoke doesn't build up in there and smother it. Make sure this isn't burning. My phone would swipe down. Hey, what time is it?
Alexa, what time is it?
The current time is 4:41 p.m.
Go ahead and add a little bit more water. And I kind of try to keep this in mind. There might be a little bit of burnt stuff in there because I wasn't really paying attention, but I try to kind of keep in mind that as you add more water, you're going to want more seasoning. Go ahead and do that. Another thing I found about this, it is very salty seasoning. So I'm going to check on our potatoes. And they're not quite done, so I'll give them another 5 minutes.
What you got in the oven?
Potatoes.
Oh, okay. Cool. So I really don't know.
Like I said, we're going to get the potatoes another 5 minutes. My phone doesn't want to swipe down, so I'm just going to grab my watch. So, about 4:47. Or no, 4:48, sorry. We'll go do that. I'll be back when it is time. I'm back. I'm gonna grab a spoonful of the cubillion and see if it needs anything. Let it cool down a little bit because it's probably very hot. But I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit. Needs a lot more seasoning. Like I said, I've never cooked a roux before, so this is my first time. There's probably going to be a couple of things in there that I missed, but any recommendations, just let me know. Be critical about it. It really just tastes like flour and vegetables. The dog's back there being a little aggressive with the new puppies we got. Alright, so we're going to let that cook down, and potatoes are about ready to trek again, about another 2 minutes, so be back. Potatoes are not quite ready, so I'll probably give them about another 5-10 minutes, and I will be back when they're ready, or the redfish is defrosted, whichever one comes first. I tasted the roux again, and it tastes like it needs a little bit more salt, so we're going to add a little. Not a whole ton. I'll let that cook down a little bit longer, and then we'll come taste it again. Alright, so I just want to pick a green onion, and I'm going to cut the end off real quick. And my great grandpa actually gave me some advice about it. If your green onions look like they're not doing too good, if you're not cutting them at the base, so say this is your plant, and this is the base right here. If you're not cutting it right there or peeling it down towards the base, it's not going to put up new growth. So what you want to do is don't cut off just as much as you need. So say you only need about that much. Don't cut off just that much. You have to cut off the whole stalk. You'll get more growth like that. I'm going to cut this up and add this to the cubillion. Probably about a quarter of a cup of green onions. And leave a little end out. I'll stir those in real quick. I don't know if Guidry's has green onions in it, but if it doesn't, or if it does, or if it doesn't, there's green onions in there. Our potatoes are actually close to done. I don't know what's smoking in there, but give them about till 5 o'clock. Check them. We'll be back when, or actually the redfish might be ready. The season might be thawed. I would say the redfish is ready, so I'm going to season that real quick. Slimy fish.
Wait, we should not have boxes. Wait for cakes. Wait for cakes is really like, it's kind of annoying.
rinse my hands off because these were vacuum sealed, and I don't know what happened, but they got a slimy texture to them. So basically, what you're going to do is I caught this with Louisiana Adventures. I know I already said that, but definitely go check him out. And I think it was probably 18.5, 19 inches. So he was just within the regulations. They just changed them the other day from 17 inches minimum to 18. So, first redfish was in the slot size, so very happy about that. So you're going to pat them dry with paper towel. And then you're going to take your lemon. And you're going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on them. Not a lot. You don't want to drown it in it, but you definitely want a little bit on there. Enough to hold the spices on. And it adds a nice flavor to it as well. Rub that in a little bit. Make sure it's on there. Then we're going to grab our Cajun blackened seasoning and go over it. There's a clump in there. Hold up. Alright, there we go. I think I got it all broken up. Nope, I still feel it in there. But we're cooking it on the half shell, so it still has skin and scales. It's gonna be smoked. We got both the fillets and the collar. You might be wondering what we're gonna do with this orange. Well, this orange, while it's smoking, when we put it on, we're actually going to put the orange on top. And I was told when the orange starts to get a little bit caramelized, it's about halfway done. And I will show y'all what that looks like whenever it gets to that point. I'm just going to transfer this onto a plate. I'm going to rest that plate somewhere where the dogs aren't going to get it because they like to eat everything in their reach. I'm just going to rest it right there. It shouldn't fall right there. I'll stir our cubillion. As you see, it's still very hot, so don't splash that on you. But check our potatoes. We still got a little bit longer, so probably about till 5:05. We're gonna check on our smoker and see if it's ready. Smoking. I'd say that's ready. So we're gonna go cut our orange, get our redfish, and put it on the smoker.
Hey, are you putting them on? Oh no!
What?
Ripley, we don't eat packing peanuts! Ripley, don't eat packing peanuts!
At least they're biodegradable.
Oh my gosh. Oh my.
If y'all aren't wondering, I got some plastic salt colorants today, and they came in a box full of packing peanuts, and it's the new packing peanuts they're using that are made out of starch, so they're biodegradable.
Like their brains.
Puppies got a hold of them, but
Like their brains.
they'll be okay.
Oh, gracious sakes alive.
We're gonna cut our orange right here. Probably about 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch slices. Not too thick, but not too thin. No, they dissolve.
Ripley, Van Winkle.
Alright, so that should be all the oranges we need. I'm making me really hungry for some oranges right now. We're going to bring out our oranges and our redfish and get that smoking. taking me a little bit because the smoke's burning my eyes and my lungs, but I'll walk it off. As you can see, we got our oranges on there. Or you probably can't see because the plate is in the way. We got our oranges. We got both fillets in the collar, and it's pretty hot, but we have the coals on one side, so it's an indirect heat, so it can smoke rather than cook. Or it's still going to be cooking, but it's going to smoke rather than, you know, sear, I guess. And check on that probably in 10 minutes, so 5:12. I'll start a cubillion here and see if it needs anything else. It's definitely not going to taste as good as Louisiana Outdoors, or Louisiana Adventures, not Outdoors, sorry. But hopefully it at least tastes decent. She wants a bite. No, you can't have anything. Dogs aren't supposed to have onions. Yeah. You're probably going to get a piece of fish later. Yeah. It's actually got a little bit of kick, but it's pretty good. So I'll probably leave it at that because I don't know what else to add to it. I'm just gonna let that cook down and simmer. And check on our potatoes because they're probably about done. Not quite yet, but they're getting there. I'll be back. Alright, so it's getting about ready. Time. That is hot. About ready. Time to check our redfish. As you can see, it's getting all nice and fishy, I guess. As you can see, those oranges kind of look like they're getting a little bit caramelized. What you can do, the fish is not done yet. I'm not expecting it to be. What you can do, you take you a fork, and if you put it, let's see if I can move some oranges. If you put it right here and you twist and the flakes kind of separate, and it's done. But if they don't separate, then it's probably not done quite yet. But you can always check with the meat thermometer just to be sure, which I would recommend doing. Also learned that trick from Louisiana Adventures, and I cannot stress enough, he's a really good guy, so go check him out. I'll see you back inside. So all I did with the cubillion while I was away was put a little bit more salt in it. But the potatoes were about done. And I think they probably are. Let's see if they're tender. Let me grab another fork. That one's got raw fish on it. You see how they're fork tender? Yeah, those are done. So go ahead and take those out. Alright, so potatoes are done, and again, as you can see, I probably couldn't see really well in the oven, but they're fork tender. It should be nice and crispy and good. I forgot to cook the rice, and hopefully it'll be done by the time the redfish is done. So let's get to that. Alright, so we're gonna get probably about a cup of rice in here, and then a cup and a half of water, maybe cup and a third. I can't find the half cup measuring cup, but it's a third cup, so add a little bit more because none of those are really full. I got about a cup of rice in there, and I'm gonna add about a cup and a third of water. Alright, that's about a cup and a third. Turn our water off and we'll grab our salt. You always want to have your rice with a little bit of salt. Turn the oven off before I forget. Hey, be nice. Dog's getting angry with the puppies, I don't know why. Just a little bit of salt, not much. You stir that in a little bit with your finger. And you get that cooking. It helps if you have a lid, but I don't know where ours is. Oh, there it is. Go ahead and put the lid on. And we'll go check on that redfish. I'm gonna mute some all the way. It's a little hot. We're gonna use a fork to grab it. It might end very bad, but you know. You gotta learn one way or another. See, that could be my foot, but you know, whatever. See how the oranges are a little darker now. Ay, that was hot. See how the flakes are separating? It means it's probably done. It's a thicker part, so let's go check that with our thermometer. Okay, you see we got it on fish. And we're going to stick it in there. Probably about in the middle. Takes a little bit. And as you can see, we're up at temperature, so the fish is done. So I'm going to go ahead, take this out, and I will go inside, grab a pan, and a spatula, or some tongs, or probably a spatula and some tongs. Get this fish inside, wait for the rice to be done, and we'll be ready to eat. Alright, we got our plate and our spatula and our tongs, and we're just gonna kind of roll with it, I guess. It's gonna be really hard to get on there. I think the spatula is by a company called McWare. Yeah, McWare, you can see it probably right there. I don't know who makes the tongs, but I definitely recommend McWare. They're very good. They're like Magnolite. They are not Magnolite. They're not an off branch of it, I don't think. But they are very good. And I've had very good experience. The spatula works very well for large things, as you can see. These fillets were, it's about a 19-inch redfish. No fillets are not going to be 19 inches, but I'll grab that orange right there, put it on top. Fillets are not going to be 19 inches, but they're still not very short or small fillets. So, spatula handle them very well. Well, we're going to let those coals die off. And then we'll come back whenever the rice is done and the food is ready to eat. Alright, so we're not quite done yet. The rice is still cooking. The cubillion is still kind of cooking down. But this is how the plates are looking so far with the redfish and the potatoes. So, but once the rice is done, I'll be back and give you all the final plating. Alright, our rice is done cooking and our cubillion is tasting pretty good. So, we'll go ahead and get it all plated up. And Mom said she's not feeling too good, so she said she's probably not going to eat. So, but I am going to eat. And put this rice pot lid somewhere else. I'm going to take a little bit of our rice. Pat it down. Nice little circle. Maybe put a little hole in it. For the sauce to sit. And come over here. Get ourselves a nice little ladle. Not label. Set our plate down right here. Turn off our cubillion. Stir it a little bit. And we're gonna get our nice ladle full of cubillion. Get that all over the rice. Looking nice and good. That's the final plate. Thank you for watching and have a good one.